Okay, good morning. So we're up to Siman Mem base, we're up to Halacha base. So we said in Aleph that if you've got Tefillin Shel Rosh, you can't downgrade and use them for Shel Yad because we're Malim B'Kodesh Ve'ein Meridin, and the Shel Rosh is a higher level. So in Sif base, the Mechaber says, Im Hisne Aleim B'Tchila. However, if you made a Tanai from the outset, Afilu Lovshan Adam, even if a person warned them, then you're allowed to change them. Even if it means going Mishal Rosh to Shel Yad, if you made a T'nai, then that works. Says the Mishnah Berurah Sif Kotan Ches, Be'ez Asiyas HaShel Rosh, at the time of making the Shel Rosh, you made this T'nai. Even if you said that if you need to use this for Shel Yad, you're going to do it, Mahani T'nai. The T'nai will help you. Even certainly if you just say I'm only doing the Shel Rosh for a short period of time, then that would work. You can downgrade it to use it for a Shel Yad. Okay.
This is only the one who's making it.
Whoever's exactly.
Not the one who's
Not once you've with the person buying it, Mistama, even the person buying it, because we said that because Hazmon is Lav Milsi, and Hazmon Lav Milsi, then it could be that if you haven't yet worn it, it could be. That's an interesting point. Not entirely sure. Maybe it'll become a bit clearer I'm not sure. Not entirely sure. Gimel. Okay, now this is very interesting. What about the Suda? What about the Tashmish of the Tefillin? In other words, you've got the bag, and you're going to use the bag for Shel Rosh. Can you now downgrade it, or Tefillin Shel Yad and Shel Rosh? Can I use it for other things? So Suda, says the Mechaber, Suda da azamne lemeitze bot Tefillin. You've got a Suda, which is like some sort of handkerchief, some sort of a scarf or something, which you're going to use to wrap your tefillin in. So nowadays we have a tefillin bag, but you've got your Shel Yad and Shel Rosh, and you wrap them in some sort of handkerchief, a Suda. Da'azamne lemeitze bot Tefillin. You've designated them to put your tefillin in it, la'olam, forever. V'tzar beit tefillin chadzimna, and you've used it one time to put your tefillin in. Also lemeitze bot zuzi. You can't now use that bag for coins, for zuzim, for a chol use. Says the Ramav, im hisnel of mitchila bechol inyan shari. But if you are masne mitchila, if you made a tanai, that I'm only using this temporarily, then I can change and use it again for zuzim. Okay, let's stop there. We'll just do the Mishnah Berurah till there, and that will be it for today. And then tomorrow, Mr. will finish off this siman, and then Mr. after the break, we'll start siman mem gimel. Okay, says the Mishnah Berurah on that. Suda. So lav dafka a handkerchief, says the Mishnah Berurah in Sif Kotan Tes, hu adin im osa kis mechodosh letzorech tefillin. So too, if you make a bag, a tefillin bag from the outset, letzorech tefillin, gam kein ein osa lishtamish bochol ad de tzarbe. You can't use it for chol ad de tzarbe, the hazmona lav milsehi. Because Hazmona just designating it is not enough. You've got to actually have used it for the tefillin. V'uadin b'chol tashmishei kedusha, and that's true for all tashmishei kedusha. Afilu tik l'sefer Torah, even a tik, a covering a box for a sefer Torah. V'tashmish t'shashmish ein bo kedusha klal. But the secondary tashmish, the tashmish, that hasn't got any kedusha at all. Okay, da'azamne, that he designates it to use it for tefillin. Even if you just say it rather than actually using it specifically, but you just say you make a declaration, I'm going to be using this for tefillin. For certainly, if you pick it up and say this is for tefillin. Okay, Yud Aleph, tefillin. For tik shel talis, now the tefillin and talis are different. The tik shel talis lo mikri tashmish kedusha. It's not called the tashmish of a kedusha, rak tashmish mitzvah, and therefore it's a lower level. It has different halachas regarding gniza. That when it comes to tefillin, you put them in gniza, but tzitzis we said not, and the lulav and tashmishay the mitzvah are on a lower level, and therefore the tik shel talis is not called tashmish kedusha, rak tashmish mitzvah. V'lochein, and therefore mutzalon niach b'shad dvarim shel chol, to put other things, non-kodesh things, in your talis bag. That is much easier. So you want to keep sweets in there, or during the week, in your weekday talis, you keep a voucher book and things like that. Then that would not be a problem. For after munuch by gamkein tik shel tefillin, even though you also keep your tefillin in that same bag. Lo yavi hatik shel talis ki im tashmish tashmish. That doesn't make it the tick of the tefillin. It's a tick of the talis bag, and therefore it's a tashmish of the tefillin, and therefore they would be okay to keep other things in it. Even if you keep your siddur in there, which the siddur has kedusha, or you keep the tefillin without a bag, and you put the tefillin directly. Just imagine that the shalyad and the sharosh, just put them into the talis bag. You still are allowed to put dvarim shel in the talis bag in that situation. Because you initially made this bag for the talis, and it's as if you stipulated, you made a tanai that I'm using it for other things. Like the Ramah says, with the tanai, it works. And those people who travel, and they use their tefillin bag for other things. I don't know, they keep their passport in there or who knows what. After Medina also, even though strictly speaking they shouldn't have done it, we can be melamed zchus and say to kiven the regilim bekach, since that's the norm for them, have a ki'ilu hista betchila. It's as if they made the tanai, and therefore it would be okay. But lechatchila one should not do that. Okay, la'olam. Now the Mechaber said, Suda da'azamne lemeitze bot tefillin la'olam. He designated it forever. So does that mean that I'm going to use this la'olam void? Or does it just mean not temporarily? So says the Mishnah Berurah, Yisif Cotton Yud Beis, Yeisherim Dafka Beferish, where he actually says, I'm going to use this forever. Avol Bistoma, if he doesn't make any declaration, and he just starts using it, we don't say the designation is forever. Given the stam suda ein miyuchad tefillin, because a stam handkerchief or bag, you imagine you use a Tesco bag or something, then that's not miyuchad for tefillin, and therefore it's not going to be forever. Avol medivra hagrob be'ira mashma. Does stam have a k'la'olam? No. If it's just stam without making any declaration, that is la'olam. And the mechaber is just coming to exclude a moment, sort of a temporary thing. But anything other than that is la'olam. And therefore, it's new sentence. If a person made a kiss to put tefillin in, he said to a craftsman who is going to make the bag for you, aseli kish al tefillin, have a stomach, because then you're doing it forever. So, for example, if you go to Roy Embroidery, in the embroidery shop, or you go to Torah Treasures and you say, I want a bag, and you want to put tefillin on it, or to have your name on it, that is a designation for olam. Of course, you're going to use that bag for tefillin. That's why you're going to the uman to ask him or her to do it for you. Okay. So the Mechaber said, Suda, a bag, imagine a Tesco bag, you've designated to put tefillin in it, la'ilam, v'tzar beit tefillin, and you put tefillin in, then you can't change it, we said. Says the Mishnah Berurah in Yud Gimel, kol zeh b'suda ikis shelo, that's only if it's your one. If I take someone else's bag, I can't now make that a tefillin bag, because I can't be asked for something which is not mine. Gonov beged v'chotche v'oso menu kiss, unless you actually made it into a bag, because then I did a shinamaisa is kind of even v'knevav. Oh, sorry. For cotton she tzar beit tefillin bakis, if a child put tefillin in a bag, she'ezmin lekach gam kein nesa also becomes asa v'dova hanesa b'azmon lechud. But if it just became also with designation, saying I'll use that bag for the tefillin or something, lo mitzvah b'hazmon cotton. The declaration of a cotton will not help. Why? To cotton yesh le ma'aseh ve'ein le machshava. His actions count, but not his thoughts. Afilu gilu machshavtam b'diburim, even if he expresses his thoughts. But with the cotton, you need a stronger actually intention, and only a ma'aseh is going to designate it to make it a problem. Now, Yud Daled. We said chad zimne, even if he uses it one time, even if it was a momentary one-off thing, we just mitzaref that ma'aseh for the azmona, and that designates it, and you can't now use it for mundane activities. But if at the time you're saying, I'm using this Tesco bag, or whatever it may be, any bag, just as a one-off time, I'm allowed to use it for chol afterwards. Interestingly, in note 22, he says, same thing. If you've got a house which you're designating it to use it for a shul, masuyim kugoyin sheyava regular yurid, for example, COVID. I'm going to use it for the next month. Or, for example, I'm going to use it over Yontov, or during the whatever it may be. That's not considered a proper declaration, a proper hazmona. And therefore, in that situation, you can use it for chol as well if it's such a temporary measure. Carrying on the Mishnah Berurah, if you use the bag l'shem tefillin, and you put the tefillin in it for one time, even if you're going to take them out afterwards, then it's got kedusha and you can't put coins in and other chol activities. And so too if the kiss was already made, and you add something to make it sort of to beautify it. You put like a little picture of some tefillin on the bag, or you put your name on it, or you write tefillin on it. Have a kamoisha also hakis l'shem tefillin. That's as if you made the bag for tefillin. Unless you take off that thing which you added for adornment. Good. Okay, finishing off the Mishnah Berurah, Tezvav, we said, Osel lemeitza bezuzi. Once you've designated it for tefillin, you can't put other things in it. La'olam, says the Mishnah Berurah in Tezvav. Afilu la'achash niskalkel, even if it becomes ruined, ein roi oida tefillin v'sorch geniza, and it's no good for tefillin anymore, you can't use it for other things, and you need to put it in geniza. And then, we said zuzi v'chein shadova lav dafka zuzim, but even other things. Afilu dova sheyesh bo kedusha. Kolshu, even if it's got some degree of kedusha, kolshu lematam tefillin could go in mezuzah. Mezuzah's got a lower level of kedusha than tefillin, so even to use that bag now for mezuzah would be a problem. V'chanal b'similava beisif ches. V'lo nok zuzi rak mishum sefer. We only say zuzi because of the sefer. Okay, we'll get there. Well, if he's ein ze lo se siddur bakis shehoyim yuchad mitchila letefillin levad, and therefore putting a siddur in a bag directly with tefillin is a problem. But you shouldn't be moicha those people who do it to keep the reginim bezeh, because since that's the norm, it's as if they stipulated, I'm using this bag for the siddur as well as the tefillin, and that would be okay. Just one more Mishnah Berurah. This is going on the Ramah. We said it's shari. Says the Mishnah Berurah b'chol inyan afilu asa hakis l'shem tefillin. Even if he made the kiss l'shem tefillin, v'tzgam tsar be'bekvius, and he used it regularly, shari, given to hisna be'es asiyah, since he did it at the time of you making the bag, he made a t'nai, he made a condition sheyuchel l'shanos shir, so that he's going to use it for something else when he wants to. For t'nai mahani l'shtamish bohen afilu ba'edin b'ktushos, and you're allowed, therefore, even when it's still being used for tefillin, to use it for other things. For k'moshe kosev b'siman kuf nundalet sifches. Ach l'tashmish meguna, but for a disgraceful sort of usage, lo mahani t'nai, that would not help. V'uadinim yirtze lichrech eze dova b'ritzu hakavu b'tefillin she'alov to lo mahani mishum bizu mitzvah, to use it for some sort of other mundane thing, that would not be appropriate. Okay, Mr. Shem will finish off this sif tomorrow.